Yep.
So how was your weekend?
It was good. How was yours?
Good, did a lot of stuff. I did glamorous stuff like cleaned out our chicken coop and re-sanded it with 600 pounds of new sand.
Oh, goodness.
From the winter.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, it's a fun hobby though. We don't, sell eggs or not. We just use the eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got chickens too.
Yeah, there's something. We got 8 and she wanted these things called lavender orphans or something, and they're really
Okay.
cool looking. So we got 2 chicks that we're raising separate right now. That ought to be a screen. Got any advice on integrating them? Like when you have.
What we do when you get new ones to introduce them, we have 2 different sides to our chicken coop, so we can put a divider in there. So we'll lock them all in together, but put the divider in, so they hear each other and they smell each other.
Okay.
And you do that, it's like 3 to 5 days, and then you can take the divider out, and it's kind of like they already know each other because they've been
But now
listening and smelling.
I found that deal where, the old phrase pecking order, that's where that originated,
Yeah.
because they'll pick order.
Yeah,
Yeah, so 3 to 5 days, and 2, which won't be too bad. It's so weird because I've got an 8x16 coop. The chickens all sleep together, but they lay in the other one. They don't sleep in. I got like 2 rooms.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool. Thanks. I'm gonna try that and. All right.
What's up, everybody? Happy Maniacs Monday. I'm your boy Phil, and it's time to get served. What's up, people? How you doing? Did you see Judge Stepka's chicken coop chat? I didn't hear it. I mean, I didn't see it. I was listening, and all of a sudden she's like, I like the smell, and they like to smell each other. I was like, oh, if they're talking about people, it's gold. But then I rewound it a little bit, and I was like, oh, chickens. All right, I'll record that. What's up, people? How we doing? Happy Monday. Let's get rolling. Did anyone see Howard Stern in the DDC today? It was Howard. Howard was arrested in Detroit. Seen here first on Time Served. Let's roll.
Yeah. This way, man. Stand right there and stand well. Outside. This way. Step on the black line. Face the camera so you're full night.
Morning, sir. What's your name, please?
Yes!
My name's Hisham Al-Saidi.
Thank you, sir. You got 2 matters in front of us today. And
Baba Booey.
we'll deal with them separately. The first one is the 21 case. This will be case 21-044271, State of Michigan versus Hisham Ahmed Al-Saidi. Counsel.
Morning, I'm Samuel A. Ragman, fire number 223-157.
Oh, Stanley.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brent Berghoff. Yeah. My client waived his right to formal legal. His client constitutes the right to stay on mute.
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. Court also notes there were previously 2 personal bonds given and 2 capiouses, with the most recent being October 28 of 21, capious set at 510% by Judge Bryant as the bond please.
Ooh, he's going to see Judge
Your Honor,
Bryant. Oh, we gotta see that one. Oh, God. Judge Bryant meets Howard Stern / Paul Stanley plus Alice Cooper / Joe Perry. Let's get them all in.
Mr. Al-Saidi has an extensive criminal record, and I'm trying to, the case was set on a misdemeanor charge?
Yes, a misdemeanor breaking, entering a vehicle.
Okay. So that was the one that I believe is on January 22nd. Is that correct?
But listen, he's got some serious charges. So listen.
I've got the most recent one in this file, the capious, was October 28 of 2021.
Well, Your Honor, let me just give a little history about Mr. Elson. Back on January 22nd, 2021, the police officer was flagged down because they said a break in entry occurred in the vehicle.
Come on, DTC.
Someone opened the unlocked vehicle parked in front of this location, and stole from him his ID, U.S. passport, Apple, products, and so on. This was at 6170 West Vernon Highway. This is also caught on green light, technology, Your Honor. The person identified was the defendant, Hikam El-Sadi. On the same day, I will mention the fact that we took a photo from the blue light, showed it to a young lady that happened to be in the precinct at that time, his ex-girlfriend, who was there charging him with felonious assault, and she identified him at that point as well, even though he was not part of this case. In addition, Your Honor, there was reports made from Chase Bank that a person showing the ID of the previous complainant that was stolen in his passport tried to take money from Chase Bank. It turned out to be Hassan Al-Mahdi as well. Your Honor, he has a history of offenses. I just may briefly tell you those offenses. He had convicted of retail fraud on 314-16, retail fraud first degree again, 8717. He did 18. He had sentenced 18 months to 30 months in state prison. He had home invasion on 4121, second degree larceny of the building. He was convicted of fleeing from a police officer, third degree, being in an automobile on 9/13/21, causing damage to a vehicle. So he has an extensive record. That doesn't seem to matter if he has a case pending, if he's on parole. The report on this matter that we're reviewing today says at the very top of the line said the defendant is an absconder from parole. So, Your Honor, I don't see how anything but a cash bond in this matter is going to assure safety of the community.
You're an idiot.
In vehicles, and also going to ensure his presence at the court when requested to do so. So I'm going to leave it up to you, Your Honor, I'm asking for a cash bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Career criminal.
Correct.
Yeah, this is the case, is $500, 10%, you don't mind.
We're all forgetting Captain Hook. No one said Captain Hook.
Yeah, I mean, as Mr. Prosecutor was making his argument, the first thing I noticed was the first line in the investigator's report, which is defendant is an absconder from parole. That, in addition to the multiple capiases in this file, and the fact that there even exists another file that we're about to do, makes
Richard Ramirez.
this court concerned. Would the 510% be affordable?
He has like a Sylvester Stallone face though, like a, and then the hair is just. I mean,
Or not affordable?
It wouldn't be affordable.
whoa!
Sure.
He speaks.
Thank you, sir.
How about a comb, bruh? Oh my God!
All right, court's gonna order GPS test. Is your client working?
Jamie.
GPS
Risk.
tether with full house arrest. Court will set bond in this matter, 5,000 personal.
Lurch with a perm.
Next court date's gonna be July 18th. Pre-trial in front of Judge Bryant here in 36th District Court. One moment for your next case, sir.
And now he has another case.
so I gotta put that.
If you're gonna get a tether.
Huh?
If you'll get a tether.
So I'll be going.
All right, next case is 23-044-677, State of Michigan versus Hisham Ahmed Al Saidi, counsel.
Samuel A. Reagan on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
We have to send out outside. Right, and we right, have to, right, and
Court will enter not guilty plea on your client's behalf. This is an assaultive allegation. Ask the bond, please.
Your Honor, as we previously reiterated earlier,
Horn line overtones. Slow clap, my friend. Good one.
a number of were sent to the grocery store,
Grim.
6,000 West River High.
No stairway. Who the hell cares? Can't even hear this guy. All right, we are going to. This is hysterical. If you guys caught this on Webster, this was in the late afternoon. This was just curious case of wasn't me. Wasn't me. Oh, priceless. Let's roll.
Plaintiff, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
And then Mr. Williams, you're here as the defendant, is that right?
Yes, I am.
Can you start your video, please, Mr. Williams?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And is there anyone else with you as a defendant, Mr. Williams? Costs plus interest for goods and services allegedly requested by the defendant and received by the Kansas Medical Center. The answer was pretty brief by Mr. Williams, and I quote, "I was not seen by hospital," end quote. So, Mr. Holmes, were these services allegedly for Mr. Williams himself or a family member?
Thank you, Laura.
Your Honor, they were all for Nathaniel Williams Jr. And there's 4 different dates of
Membership.
service that consist of this account balance. And they were all for, and I've sent a copy of all of this to Mr. Williams, but it was for an address over in Andover, Kansas, that represented the address that was given by Mr. Williams for these services.
So, Mr. Williams, are you, is your name by chance Nathaniel Williams, or do you have a child, Nathaniel Williams Jr.?
Yes, I do.
Is your position that neither you nor your child's received these services?
Thank you, Laura.
No, I separated from my wife in that time, and the insurance card and all of my information was given to someone else. I know this this appearance was given to her too. I was hoping that she would, say that, because I didn't get the services myself.
Okay, but your child did. How old is your child?
My child is 14, but the child that I just answered your question, but Mr. Holmes will tell you, I don't have anything on. He sent me all the documents and it's under my name.
Well, it's for the parent who's responsible for the child.
No, but I'm junior. My father is senior. I'm junior and my son is the third. So you said it said Nathaniel Scott Williams Jr.
Look at Webster. Okay.
It's
That would be me.
Nathaniel Williams Jr.
Yeah, that would be me. My son is the third. It's listed like that at his school and everywhere. Social Security.
Okay, well, it was for Nathaniel Scott Williams Jr. on Mark Avenue.
Yeah, I'm just saying that wasn't me.
But
Okay,
that's your name.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not my name. I'm just saying I myself didn't go to the hospital. If you guys can show a video or something, me walking in
Okay.
on those dates, I didn't go into the hospital on those dates. I got your packet in the mail, so thank you for that, Mr. Holmes, but I didn't go on those dates.
Okay, I think I can help you here, Mr. Williams. I think there's a misunderstanding. Even, he sent you the notice, he sued under your name because you are the parent. And as the parent, you're responsible for the child's services.
Yeah, but this isn't for my son, though. This is for
Daylight.
me. The services that were rendered were for an adult male. If you look at the documents,
Oh.
Mr. Holmes, it even has my birth date. It has my birthday, January 9th, 1976. So that would disqualify my son. He was born in 2007. So
All right. So if you're not following, here's the short of it. As of right now, he's getting sued, ton of hospital bills, insurance paid, all this stuff. Webster and the attorney are under the assumption that it was the son that had services rendered. He's saying it wasn't the son, it wasn't me. Now, and you'll find out who he claims it is. If it is true, it's a very reasonable argument. And Webster even says so herself. But look at that face right now. She is not digging the story.
you know, I don't know
Thank you,
how
Claire.
else to prove. Only thing
For the
they can
don't
prove that I was there
know.
is a video, because I
Claire
was not
Penny,
there.
welcome. Thank
Okay,
you
well,
very
that
much.
is a different issue then, because I thought the services were for the child.
Yeah, it doesn't
And,
say, it
and
says
getting
January
junior,
9th.
senior, getting junior, senior, the third mixed up, I could understand that, but if the medical records say the services were for an adult male and they weren't for this gentleman, then we may have an issue. Mr.
Well-
Holt, your position?
Well, this was for thousands of dollars where Aetna was billed and Aetna paid. So that would be really a huge insurance scam where there was thousands of dollars paid by Aetna.
And since then, I filed a claim with Aetna to fight those charges, because I didn't know about them until you sent it to me, Mr. Holmes. And that's when I filed a claim with Aetna. And I can provide proof of that too.
Well,
So we need to sort through this a little bit. You're saying you never went, have you never gone to the hospital for services?
I've been to KMC, and that's another thing. If you reference
KFC.
any other KMC document that I signed against those documents that you sent me, Mr. Holmes, it's a different signature. It's not even a signature that I use. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying
What's up,
it is
King?
my name, but it's not the signature that's on my state of Kansas license or any other document that I've signed
No, but-
officially.
it's all of your identity as well. And it was over $22,000 worth of services. And it has your job, your social, your date of birth, everything.
Yes, that's because my ex would have all that information, Mr. Holmes, and she's given it to someone else. That's what happened here. I like I said, I filed a claim with Aetna. I did not know I was charged, I mean, that they paid those until you sent it to me.
And they have your cards and everything. So I would
Yes,
assume if
this is
that's not
someone
you,
that I
there
was married to. This is someone I was married to for 30 years. She has every bit of documentation that could possibly be under me. And I worked at my employer for now 15 years. So half of our relationship, she's been with me and she has all the information. That's what happened here. Whoever she's with, she got him service.
Well,
And
I
know
have the
that
doctor.
doesn't help you guys, but it wasn't me.
I have the doctor reports as well, where they did the services on what was reported to be you.
Yes, and I'm not disputing that there was a doctor's service rendered. I'm saying that the person that they rendered it to, it wasn't me.
And I also have your driver's license and everything else that was presented at the day that the $22,000 worth of services were provided.
Yes, and when we broke up, I filed with the DMV that my wallet was taken by her, so she had all of my stuff. I had to get a new license since the separation, new social security card, my birth certificate wasn't there, but I couldn't find her, so I had to get a new birth certificate too. So I've replaced, and I've had all those, I have proof of that. Like I can You can go through DMV to see that I
Sorry
got
about that, guys.
a replacement for a lost license. And I reported it to the police and have a corresponding police report.
Okay, so when were these services alleged, Mr. Holmes?
5/8 of 2021. And I also have a signed payment with a witness signature.
And when did you break up with your wife, Mr. Williams, or separate?
2020, the start of COVID.
About March of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
And what makes you think your wife is behind this, or your ex-wife?
Because all kind of things have happened that would indicate so. Like I have a car that was purchased under my name that I had to go, that is on my credit that I'm fighting right now. I've had utility bills to an address that I've given the police department, and those aren't under, I mean, it's not to the home that I live in Andover. It's for an address in Wichita, Kansas that I have no tie to. So there's been several things that have happened that she has done to kind of.
Again, how do you know she's behind it? Do you have any
Well, I
verification?
don't, okay, I apologize for that, Judge. It's just peculiar. I know that identity theft is common, and it's just peculiar that I separate for someone that just about 30 years, and I have things now under my name.
And the first date of service, Your Honor, was 10/9 of 2019. And so he would have still been there with her when that was all done and signed on those dates of service as well.
Yes, I was with her in 2019, but it was toxic. So she may have already been messing around with whoever the hell she was messing around with and used my information.
But you've never talked to her about that, or no one has ever given you any indication that she's behind it?
I asked her because once the Butler County Sheriff served me, they served her too. I mean, when they served me, they served my son actually, and because she was listed, my son called her and notified her. She called me and said, "What's going on?" I told her that KMC is taking us to court because you have some medical bills. Well, I didn't know at this time, but I said KMC is taking us to court for medical bills. I thought it was something that we did together. But then when Mr. Holmes sent me all of the documentation, that's when I realized that it wasn't for something that we did together.
And do you know if she's with another man by now, or who this person might be?
I don't know him by name, but I know him by sight.
Does he look anything like you do on your driver's license?
So I don't get this. $22,000, toxic relationship. I get it. She's the mother of your child. But it seems to me that he hasn't done anything to take care of it. Seems a little fishy to me. What do you guys think?
He's a dark-skinned African-American man just like me, so.
I hope so.
That doesn't mean that he looks like you.
I'm just answering your question.
I didn't hear that. Doesn't mean that it looks like you.
Well, we have,
I love her.
we also have doctor
love
notes
her.
that they met with you.
Look at her face.
Which doctor? Because the only doctor that I see at Kansas Medical Center, well, it's at Via Christi, it's Dr. Wilson, and I have a nephrologist, which I didn't have to share, but I will, and it's Dr. Grant. So if it's not one of those two doctors, it's not me.
Benjamin Howley.
I don't even know who that is. And I guarantee you, if you send him a picture, he would say he wouldn't know who I am either.
And that was in 19.
Holmes isn't believing
Mr.
it.
Williams, I don't want to pry into your personal medical business, but when you saw those bills, were they for services that you've ever received?
Well, the way it works is I don't see that. The bill goes straight to Aetna. Aetna covers it. You have to willingly log into Aetna to see what bills are being charged. And I never did that until I got those documents from Mr. Holmes. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it shocked me. I'm fighting this, but his documents have my name all over it. So that's when I went on the Aetna and literally fell out my chair in my office when I seen all these charges that have been paid that have nothing to do with me. So I filed a claim with them. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. And I filed a claim with the police for the wallet. So I don't know what else to do. Like, and she's not paying any child support yet. So I'm paying for all the things that she's doing on the side, and I have nothing to do with it.
Okay. Well, I think we're gonna need to, we could just go,
We got our first 100%. You guys are brutal to your exes. 54 votes, 100%. First time ever on Time Live.
ahead and set this for trial, but I think maybe it would be better if we set it for another pretrial and allowed you, Mr. Williams, to get your police reports and efforts that you've done to Mr. Holmes. Mr. Holmes can double check with his medical providers and see what their evidence is to confirm it's you. But I hope that if what you're telling me is true, Mr. Williams, that the officers are aggressively pursuing that. Because if it's
I don't know
true,
what you mean. You
well,
said
I
you're talking
hope,
about the Aetna?
well, you said you made police reports for identity.
Oh, police report. Got it. I thought
Yeah.
when you said, I'm sorry, I didn't know what you were indicating. You're talking about Aetna, or I get
No,
what
I'm
you mean.
talking about police, that if someone is misrepresenting you in all of these horrible ways you're saying, then I hope that the police are going after them and not just putting it, to side because they've got other things going on.
I would hope so too, but I
One
have
way
to
or
be honest.
another, they need to verify this one way or the other.
She also has the car that I purchased, and she has that vehicle, and I reported it stolen. And they said because of the length of the marriage, they have to talk to her first. So I hear what you're saying, but apparently the law is a little bit different because they're not helping me pretty
Well,
much.
there's
other
a
than
difference. There's a difference on a car that the two of you owned in the marriage and somebody
I
going
own
to a hospital pretending to be you, racking up all these services and not getting you in a legal mess. I don't know. It sounds like Mr. Holmes has pretty good evidence against you if he's got copies of the driver's license and they date back to 2019. But then you present a good case too. So it may just be we have to go to trial. Mr. Holmes, do you see a benefit to maybe talking to your folks and to him again? And
Well, I certainly can. I mean, we have, like I've already indicated, a lot of documentation. And I will say that starting in 19, when he was still with her, all of the consent signatures are the same on all 4 different actions for services.
Yes, and I agree with that. I agree with that, but they're not the signature on my driver's license. And Mr. Holmes, I'm not trying to, I know that you're just doing your thing. I'm not attacking you in any way. I'm just being honest with you. I'm kind of getting the short end of the stick here. She went and I can't say for 100% certainty, but I'm alleging that she went and had someone else represent as me. So, and it's so crazy because of my social security card, when I asked for it, I thought I'd have to show my birth certificate. I was able to just fill out stuff online and get my social security card. So that means she could have did the same thing too. So I'm like, I don't know. I thought you had to have a person's birth certificate to get a social security card created, and apparently you don't. So I don't know what else she's put under my name.
if I were you, I'd probably be back at that police department seeing, when did you make these reports?
Yeah, I can do that.
No, I said, are you talking to me or someone else?
Yes, I said I can do that. I said you're
Okay,
right.
but when did you make the initial reports that you've been telling us about? To the police?
Twice. Once in 2020 when it first happened, and here recently when I got those papers.
Okay. Did you give them the suspects or how they could figure out who?
Well, I gave
gave
them her name, her social security number, which I was with her 30 years. I gave her name and her social security number. I don't have any name for this guy. I just seen him. And that's on the Facebook.
Some things sound okay, and then other aspects, it's like, huh? I just don't. I try and I want to believe it because listen, a lot of you, mostly all of you, have been married, are married. Your wife, your husband has everything of yours, can have everything. This is very possible, but he is very laxed with this. Like, you're coming to court, I would have documents, I would have witnesses, I would have doctors saying they never saw me before. Like, I would be a pain in the ass. We're talking about $20,000 plus. I mean, he's just like, that right there makes me believe that he's lying. Mr. Holmes doesn't believe him at all. And even if he is lying, isn't lying, is lying, he wants his money. Period.
Post.
Well, that ought to be helpful to the officers if you,
So he saw a Facebook post. Really? Okay. Now what? Where is it?
did you share that with the officers?
What's
Yeah,
up,
but
Mike
they didn't
Graves?
ask me that.
What's up,
You know, I
Trevor?
would have, but they didn't ask me
Tommy.
any details
What's
of
up?
him.
I
Trish?
They
tell you
asked
what,
me her details. I don't know. I'm just answering your questions truthfully.
okay.
They didn't ask me any details about him.
All right, well, they know you've been sued now, right?
I told them that, but I don't know if they care, but I told them that.
And who has jurisdiction? Is it Andover Police you're working with?
I'm working with Butler County, but it's Andover Police.
Okay, all right. Well, Mr. Holmes, the other option is to just set this for trial and see where the evidence comes out. Is that your preference, Mr. Holmes?
Well, I don't care if we continue it one more time. I don't know. Unless he gets us something, I don't have anything different to go on.
There you
I
go.
don't have any, we have no information that this was a fraud.
All right, Mr. Holmes, if I sent this over to give you for another pretrial conference, what else could you give us?
Well, Mr. Williams would need to give us something.
I'm sorry, I meant Mr. Williams.
It's a fraud.
Yeah, Mr.
sorry.
Williams. Mr. Williams, what else could you come up with, do you think, to
Thank
make
you,
a
Terry.
difference? I'm trying to figure out if there's any advantage to adding another layer to this, another hearing, or if I need to just set it for trial.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how you guys operate, but what I have that I can provide is the police report number, my call logs from Verizon that shows when I contacted them,
What?
and
That's it?
Okay, but
I
you've
don't know if
seen,
there's anything else you guys needed.
you've seen the hospital records.
Yes,
You've
Mr.
seen the
Holmes.
photo of the guy that they took the driver's license for. Does it look like the same guy in the Facebook page of your wife?
Oh, well, the photo of the license is me. She actually had my license, so the photo on the license is me.
See, right there. So they presented the photo. She found a guy that looks exactly like him. I mean, come on. I don't know, man. I try to believe. Look at that. That's the Webster skeptic face.
Like the scanned photo that Mr. Holmes sent me, that's me.
All right. I lost it. I have it on my other computer. I'll definitely post because I'm making a video of this whole thing. This was just right before I started to go live, so I'll have everything for you. I just had to get the beginning. The rest of it was just them setting up a trial date, so we'll definitely keep you updated on that. There was really nothing else after that. All right, here we go. Let's get rolling. I have so many good. All right, so let's go to. We got a lot in the room. We're rocking. Let's go to. All right, this literally is everything wrong with Gen Z, the kids now. And I'm a pro. I'm an expert because I deal with kids for the last 15 years. This is the problem. This is a young dude. Just listen. Washington wanted to strangle him. Here we go.
Tickets number.
So it's Mr. Collier
DIB
right here. Okay? Mr. Collier.
11-000-3537. 1 second. I'm sorry. Here it is. 11T8369 and 11T8370.
I
Rachel
will,
McDuffie for the
Lucy. You
people.
got it.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
All right, Mr. Collier, could you please state your name?
It's Torrin Collier.
Thank you, Mr. Collier. You're here, sir, because you failed to appear or failed to pay on any of your tickets that I just called. One is for parking, 2 parking violations, no proof of insurance, and a speeding. You're here for contempt of court for failure to pay those and failure to show up to court, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I just had got noticed that I even had those. I didn't even, and 2 parking tickets. I had no clue about the tickets at all. The officer, when he pulled me over, was supposed to give me those tickets. He literally pulled me over 4 times before that. He took my plate the first time.
Sir,
Because, yes, ma'am.
all of that may be true, but at this point in time, you are in default on these tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And now you owe the monies. One of them is from 2000, 2 of them are from 2011.
Yeah, that's what I said. I had no clue about no parking tickets. Like, I don't even know how I got a parking ticket.
You set up a
Where?
payment plan for $100 a month. Back in
For-
2022 with the magistrate.
Yeah, but I still didn't know about the parking tickets. I don't even know where the parking tickets came from. But I set up a payment plan because I knew about the speeding part, but I never had the chance to get to pay it because I wanted to go to court for it because they said that I could at least fight it. That's the only reason why I had set the payment plan up, but I never got any notice.
It's not a parking ticket. You ran a stop sign and you were speeding on, let's see here.
The only stop sign ticket I got, I took care of that. That was a long time ago. I've been paid that. That's the only other time I ever got a ticket.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Yeah, exactly.
At Ford Lake
Trevor.
Parking here on River Drive.
Exactly, Trevor. He knows nothing about it, but there's a payment plan. They just made a payment plan without him agreeing to it. He knows nothing about this. Nothing. It's everybody else's fault.
You have not taken care of these, so you still owe money on them.
Correct, Chris. 2011.
That's what I'm saying. I never knew that I had any ticket from Ford Lake. That's where I used to stay.
Okay, well, you have these tickets, sir. Ford Lake and Huron River Drive from 2011.
Yes. I was about to say I never had no notice. I never got a ticket from anybody. So I don't know how would I get a ticket there. I never got pulled over in my complex ever. And I stayed there. That's when I was a kid. I wasn't even out of high school. 2011. That was back when I was probably in the 11th grade? Not even 11th grade. I was probably going to the 11th grade. So I definitely, I don't even know how I got a ticket back then.
So these tickets are beyond any fighting them. We're at the point where you need to pay them. These are from 2011.
Okay, so how much is the ticket from the parking ticket? Because I didn't, like I said, I had no knowledge. I was a kid, so if I knew anything about it, my parents would have took care of it. But like I had no knowledge. So how was I supposed to even pay it if I had no knowledge? That's what I'm saying. That's all, Judge. I'm not trying to make it difficult.
Oh. Look at Washington.
Cause I don't even know how I got a ticket back then. That's what I'm saying. But the what's the name?
You have an in the park without a permit on August 18th, 2011, and running a stop sign and speeding. Same date.
That's the park. So you saying a park ranger gave me a ticket?
I don't know who gave you the ticket, sir. But the bottom line is this is 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was This is 2011.
know-
So we're talking
I know, that's
12
what I'm,
years
that's,
ago.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, but
It has been in default. You met with the magistrate, and now you're here trying to fight with me over the ticket. You set
no,
up.
I'm not trying to, I promise you, I'm not trying to fight with you about it. I was just saying, I didn't know anything about the ticket. That's what I'm trying to say.
But you
I
set
know,
up
and
a payment plan with the magistrate.
I know I set the payment plan up for the speeding ticket because like I said, I didn't have the speeding ticket. I didn't know that I had a whatchamacallit, assurance ticket because the cop already knew I had assurance. So I don't even know how I got assurance ticket. I'm not trying to fight with you. I'm just trying to explain my part, what was going on. So like if I had no knowledge of what's going on.
They're all irrelevant anyway. The bottom line is you're in default and the tickets need to be paid.
Okay. So what can I do then? Because I can't even
Pay on the
afford.
payment plan that you set up with the magistrate, which was to pay $100 per month.
Okay.
Isn't that what you set up with the magistrate on May 19th of last year?
Yeah, I had set it up because I wanted to go to court for it. Because like I said, I didn't know
You don't
I
set
had
up a payment plan, sir, to go to court. Those are different things.
I didn't know that, Judge. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to fight with you. I promise you I'm not. I had no knowledge of that. That's what I was told when I was going to set the what's the name up in the first place. So I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make it any more difficult. So how can I take care of that then? Because I don't even have the money for that.
I don't know what that means. You don't have the money for that.
The ticket, like I have a ticket that I didn't have no knowledge about. That's what I'm saying. I can't afford it right now, but that's what I'm just saying.
So you're saying you can't afford to pay the $100 that you set up to pay? What are you asking for to pay now, sir?
Oh, I could pay the $100. I'm just saying I don't know how much, like that's a lot of money. That's what I was saying when I found out what was going on. That's why I wanted to fight it, but at this point I can't fight it. So where am I supposed to pay the $100 a month at?
14B District Court, sir.
Where is that at?
7200 South Huron River Drive, right down the street from where these tickets were gotten.
Okay. I guess I got to figure that out. That's crazy.
What do you mean by you got to figure that out?
I know. I'm just saying like how I'm gonna get down there to pay that. Because from what I've known, that they just said that my license was suspended.
It is suspended. You told the magistrate that you would pay $200, and he told you that he would then give you a clearance, but you haven't paid anything. And you failed to show up to court at the next court date on April 26th of 2022.
It's nothing I can do about it. I was just trying to explain my side, but I guess I was trying to argue. I'm not trying to make it like that. So I'm gonna make my way down there to pay the $100, I guess, what, a month, you said, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm not getting arrested or anything for it.
I can't.
Not yet.
Not yet. Look at her.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I think it's just dumb.
So all I gotta do is just pay the money, and I'll be.
I tried to analyze this. I watched this twice. The people who are saying he's just dumb, I think it is. Some people are just stupid. Like, not everyone's trying to scam and get over on the judge. I think he's just dumb. He's just a moron.
Good.
That is correct.
Simple answer.
So how much am I owing?
In total is what you're asking? One moment,
Yes.
please. $978.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
He's dumb.
Okay, thank you,
Oh,
Judge.
what is, 1 second. What is
What's up, Rick? Mark? Am I crazy?
Can you give me the printouts on each of these, please? I'm sorry. Yes, please. One moment, sir.
Can I ask you one more thing?
Go ahead.
Is it possible that I could get a because I can't even what's the name do that, but I was trying to get insurance on my car. That's how I found out about this in the first place. So but uh, is it possible that I can get a letter after I pay the money to
Letter that's,
basically
first of all, I
that
don't
my
do letters, but what are you asking for a letter for?
because I didn't know my license was suspended. And what I was trying to explain, like I said, I'm not trying to argue about it, but it was just like when I got pulled over for it, the cop, he gave me a ticket for no reason. He didn't say that I almost got hit by a semi truck. That's the reason why I even sped up. Because I didn't even see him behind me.
Sir, when you got your ticket, what happens is you get notice of the ticket sent to your address.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, it was sent to the address that's on Woodview Drive.
Yeah, I didn't stay in here anymore. That's why I told him too. But that was the thing.
Well, then, is that what was on your license? Because then that's another offense.
At the time, that's when COVID was happening. I didn't have what's the name? I just had moved.
No, this is 2021. It's not the same. We weren't under
No,
that.
that's what I was. No, I was saying that's when I just had moved. That's when I got
Right.
pulled
So
over.
it's a violation when you don't go in and get your license changed to reflect your new address. That's a criminal offense.
I couldn't change my address at the time because I just had moved.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I didn't. That was the only reason why I didn't have my license changed at the time.
You know, I was getting ready to see if I could waive some of these fines and costs, but you got an excuse for everything. And that's the problem. You don't have any, you don't take responsibility for anything that you do.
And there it is.
No, I do. I'm sorry. I didn't even gonna say anything else. I was just trying to explain my side because
Probably best. Your side is always blaming someone else for everything else that happens. You really need to take a look at yourself and accept some responsibility. So you told me, so you were born in 1994, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct, Tim. Correct, Tim Z.
So
done.
Why would you tell me you were 17 when you got this ticket? I mean, you told me you were what, 16 and not able to drive? You were 17. You were driving.
I didn't say I couldn't drive. I said I was a kid at the time. I said I was. That's all I said, Judge. That's it.
Oh, okay.
This is so uncomfortable. These two guys with him are just like, oh my God, shut up, dude. Look, Jermaine and Ryan. They're like, dude, shut up. And Judge Washington is lenient. We all know that. I mean, she is very light on people. If you come in there honest, respectful, she's gonna help you out. This kid is just.
I'm adding some numbers here. Give me one moment.
What's the ad? How many years you're tacking on to a sentence? Oh, God, this is brutal. And not for nothing, but that little court window by Judge Washington slowly becoming DeSanto and Sallyport worthy. There's some winners because I have Ryan right after this.
You've got about $163 in late fees that I will consider waiving. after you pay your, first $200 and go and pay your SOS fees. And come back with a different attitude, so you accept some responsibility for something that you've done. And it's not everybody else's fault.
Get him.
Oh, I wasn't saying that, Judge, but
Just stop talking.
no, I was just asking you a question.
Did you hear what I said? You really consider the words that come out of your mouth next. What do you want to say?
I was just asking what was the SOS thing. That was all.
Secretary of State fee. It allows for your license to be reinstated.
Okay.
Okay.
It's $45. So you need to pay $245. If you do that, come back and show me that your license has been reinstated. I'll consider waiving the $163 and a better attitude that I know you don't see. But it
No,
is.
I understand what you're saying. I wasn't trying to. I promise you, I was not trying to fight. I promise you, I was not trying to fight. I was just trying to get an understanding so you can understand what I was trying to say. But I'm sorry. I understand.
But you don't. But I know you think you do. But I will see you when you come back. All right.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Brutal.
I
Brutal.
will see you back here. I will return. I'm gonna have you come back here on July 10th. You think you can get that done by then?
July 10th.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. See you on July 10th at 10 a.m.
Already.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So now,
For the record, please.
Tyler Booth.
we got Mr. Booth.
Thank you.
So right after Mr. Collier, we had Tyler Booth and Mr. Ryan Johnson. And we 3 in a row. Three's a charm.
Welcome.
300 in the room.
We're here for
What's up, everybody?
pay at this point.
What is it?
Failure to pay on your fines and costs.
False. False.
Yes,
I
Judge,
He just
we
said
are here,
false.
For failure to pay on Mr. Booth's case. We have had an opportunity to speak with him. It looks like he made a payment, Judge, of $10. That was on the 19th. He said he had just recently become employed, and he will be making another payment towards his fines and costs on Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
You'll be doing what on Friday?
Making
Can I-
another payment,
Can I
Judge.
also make a statement?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Mr. Booth?
Can I make a statement?
Yes.
My ex has been contacting the court and switching out phone numbers so I don't get my text messages to let me know. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I couldn't smoke. My ex has been contacting 14B District Court, switching out my phone number for her phone number so that I don't get my text messages to let me know when it's time for me to pay. I just had to contact the court this morning and hopefully I fixed it. I'm not sure. They said they can't block her number
you,
from
boss. Yeah.
doing whatever she's doing. I don't know how all that works. All I know is I set my phone number into place again, and I set my wife's phone number into place. So hopefully this problem doesn't happen again. And no, Your Honor, I'm not making an excuse. This is real life problems that is happening. That is all.
Oh,
Thank you. How much does your client plan to pay on Friday?
$25. Sorry.
That's okay. $25, Judge.
I'll schedule this case back for August 21st at 10 a.m. to see if he's making his pay $25 per payment. $25 per month payment as he well, actually, he initially said 50.
50. We were gonna request that it be reduced to $25, Judge.
Could she repeat the beginning of what she said? I had a lag spike and she cut out.
August 21st is the next date that you have to be in court, Mr. Booth.
Okay, August 21st.
Mhm.
And
You're
it's paid $25 on the 17th of each month.
You said the 17th of each month?
Correct, sir.
Okay.
August 21st, 2023 at 10 a.m. is the next court date. Yes, Ms. McDuff.
That's all right, Your Honor. You addressed it.
We'll see you then, sir.
Okay. Thank
A
you.
lot of
You have a great
exes,
day, Your Honor.
doing things to
You too,
people
sir.
today.
Try to take it easy on these people. Bye-bye.
Not funny. What a douche. Okay, Mr. Johnson. Here we go. Welcome all the new viewers, by the way. What's up, church? Tupac!
State of
Thank you,
Michigan
sir.
versus Ryan Johnson, 20S00266.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Chinaza Ikiri. I can really, Your Honor, on behalf of Ryan Johnson. Mr. Johnson, can you state your name for the record?
Ryan Johnson.
Hello, Mr. Johnson. You've been waiting a while. Thank you for your patience today, sir.
You're welcome.
Let's see. On March 6th, you made your $100 that you told me you were gonna pay. You haven't made any payments since then. Did you pay something today?
I ain't got no money right now.
You don't have any money, you said, sir? Are you working? What's going on with you?
Trying to make ends meet. Stressing about trying to make ends meet and trying to stay out of trouble and just trying to.
So you're not working at this time?
Odd jobs, but just basically calling it diapers and wipes.
You said what, sir?
It's calling it diapers and wipes. The little money I can make, I'm going to.
Are you applying for jobs?
What?
I'm looking, but I mean.
Did he say diapers and wipes? What's up, what's up, Robert? You came in at the best time. I need diapers and wipes. Trying to make ends meet. Diapers and wipes.
I do the landscaping when I can.
Diapers and wipes. What's up, Lenny?
Yeah, try to talk to somebody about that hardship program. Somebody called me yesterday. I asked them if I could get on. How do you get about doing that? And I ain't really saying nothing about
Okay. All right, I'll put this over to July 10th, 2023 at 10 a.m.
Your Honor,
Yes.
there's also a job fair at U of M that I can give them a flyer for.
Nah,
It's for this Thursday.
I'm good.
it. Is it felon friendly?
I believe so.
No, felon.
So I can bring it down to you, sir.
Okay.
So just stay out there. She'll bring that down to you.
I'm
And
good.
I believe they do have felony friendly options there at the job. You're gonna pay? You have
Did she just say felony friendly? My head hurts after today. My head hurts recording for you people today. Okay? I've never seen such stupidity in one day. And guess what? It still happened in DeSanto. The king of stupid, the crown prince of Maniac Monday. Let's get it rolling. Oh boy. What's up, Evelyn? Steve. Daylight. What's up, people? JC, Michelle, how we all doing?
Okay,
Glad you
we are
enjoyed.
going on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Ashton Knox, 231082. And Detective Sergeant, your name, please, for the record.
Detective Sergeant Ken Grove.
All
Sit
right,
down.
please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I'm sorry, that didn't come through.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, you may proceed on the warrant.
Your Honor, I'm signing. Table on Friday, May 19, 2023, approximately 3:30 p.m. Wyandotte officers were dispatched to the subway at 410 Eureka in the city of Wyandotte for a gun on people. Officers were the juvenile victim who said that a male later identified as Mr. Knox went up to him and started to argue with him. Then pulled out a gun, pointed at the chest of the juvenile. Friend of Mr. Knox
Hold on,
attempted.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Detective. Is it possible for you to jump into the courtroom because I'm only getting every few words of what you're saying for some reason. I don't know why.
Bad audio and Wyandotte? Oh, never.
Okay, we can try it again since the door's closed. All right, can you start over, please?
Oh, the door saved
On
me.
Friday, May 19th of 2023, May 19th, 2023, approximately 3:30 p.m., Wyandotte officers were dispatched to the subway located at 410 Eureka in the city of Wyandotte for a male that pulled a gun on people. Officers arrived and spoke with the juvenile victim, who stated a male later identified as Mr. Knox walked up to him and started an argument. Mr. Knox then pulled out a gun and pointed at the chest of the juvenile. A friend of Knox attempted to pull him away from the victim when a car pulled into the parking lot and started honking its horn. Mr. Knox walked over to the vehicle, pointed the gun at the female driver, and asked if she wanted some of this, while pointing the gun at her. As the vehicle started to drive off, Mr. Knox kicked the door of the vehicle as it drove off. Officers were able to identify the suspect with the gun as Mr. Knox, and they went to his house located at 415 Sycamore in the city of Wyandotte. Officers could hear Knox inside the house, and at one point they were talking to him through a window, telling him to come outside, which he refused. Officers were able to contact Mr. Knox's grandmother, who led officers in the house. As officers were searching the house for him, Mr. Knox jumped out the second-story window and fled through the yard, and he was later apprehended by officers in the area of Second Maple. During a search at Knox's residence, officers located a stolen Smith.
Grab your memberships, newbies. VIP Rick Russell throwing them up. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Rick.
Caliber
from day one, man. Thank you so much.
Handgun along with a box of 40 caliber ammunition from the house.
Okay. Upon examination of complaining witness, I find that the offense charged or committed, and that there's probable cause to believe the defendant committed those offenses. In the Thursday file, can you pull out Mr. Knox's file? Thank you.
Second floor
And
window.
counsel, your appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke appearing on behalf of my client. This time we consent to the matter being heard via Zoom. As to arraignment, we waive formal reading. My client stands for you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Knox. Thank you. Your name, please.
Ashton Knox.
All right, the court's going to waive the formal reading. Sir, you have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint one to represent you. And in fact, you had an opportunity to speak to an attorney today, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury. You also have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
The court's going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and schedule this matter for a probable cause conference on June 1st at 8:50 a.m. The court has also signed a petition order for court-appointed attorney for felony purposes. And counsel as to bond, and then the court will, hear from Detective Sergeant Grove.
Your Honor, my client's currently 19 years old. He lives with his grandmother, has a strong family support system. He did actually just go back to work. He's at Ports Bar and Grill. He works as a cook. He indicates that he is currently going to Roosevelt High School. So I respectfully request any leniency in determining an appropriate bond so he can remain employed and in school. Thank you, Judge.
All right, and Detective Sergeant Grote as to,
Your Honor, the date and time of this incident was a Friday at the end of school. There's tons of school-age children in the area. Mr. Knox is waving a handgun around. We feel he's a danger to society. I know he was just in your court within the last couple of months on a different felony charge. We're thinking 100,000, 10%.
all right, the court, will note that Mr. Knox has a pending case in this court for malicious destruction of property, and that was from an incident, on 4th Street. And this matter is scheduled for a final pretrial Thursday. The court did permit the GPS tether to be removed, and apparently, well, the reason that the matter was adjourned was to allow Mr. Knox to pay restitution. And I know that that's not a matter that's up today, but Mr. Knox, has that restitution been paid?
No, not yet, man, but it will be by Thursday.
Well, how much of the restitution do you have ready to pay?
I don't have none with me.
I didn't ask if you had it with you, I just had how much you had ready to pay.
90% of it,
I'm sorry?
like 90% of it.
Okay, I asked for an amount, sir. What is the amount?
Like $380 I have towards it.
And how much is the restitution?
400, right? My dad said he'd cover the rest.
Well, let's see here. You have the pending charges here, the malicious destruction of property. There's also the local public drunkenness as well at the same time. Then you have a felony that that was deferred. And somehow there's an allegation that you have a gun that apparently was stolen out of Austin, Texas.
What a oof. Not a good way to start life, bruh.
And why, sir, on your request for appointed attorney, did you indicate under income, I don't know right now?
Because I don't know right now, I just started working.
Sir, on your request for appointed attorney, did you indicate under income, I don't know right now?
Because I don't know right now, I just started working again.
So you've been working at the same location. And in fact, you told this court that you were still working there. I believe you also told your attorney and
Mark,
your
not wearing any.
And the prosecutor was informed as well that you still had your appointment, which is why it was set for final pretrial for you to make the payment for restitution.
Yes. But I just started working there again. I don't know an exact amount.
And do you know Damien?
What?
Do you know Damien?
No, who?
Detective Sergeant Grote, is the individual's name Damien or Demi?
The victim in the case?
Yes.
Yeah, Damien.
Okay. Do you know him? Do you know him, Mr. Knox?
No.
Your Honor, I believe he knows of him because part of the argument was from a previous incident outside a subway involving Damien's friend and Mr. Knox.
I did not know.
If you were to be tested today, Mr. Knox, what would be detected in your system?
Nothing.
You still have the alcohol tolerance?
I don't know right
No.
now. Mark, my man.
Oh, no, that was on the other matter that, with the public drunkenness, not on the pending felony. And sir, when did you go back to work?
Like about a week and a half ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Because on March 23rd, when this court arraigned you on the other felony matter for the malicious destruction of property, I indicated your curfew was 11 p.m. on the tether, unless you were working later with proof shown to the tether unit. And in fact, one of the conditions as well, don't interrupt me. One of the conditions as well, as to why this court allowed your GPS tether to be removed, was for ease of working. So you're telling this court you actually haven't been working the last couple months other than a week and a half ago?
I've been trying to find a job. I told you that last time I was in court. And we were supposed to set up a payment plan June 2nd. I'm actually still applying at different places to work at.
On March 23rd, sir, when you were arraigned in this court, you told this court that you were working at sports.
That's a Jersey thing.
Yeah, I was, but I got fired.
That's so Jersey.
All right, well, given the fact that Mr. Knox has pending felony charges in this matter, has previous criminal convictions, the court is very familiar with Mr. Knox. And now there's an allegation of a stolen firearm that's alleged in this incident. The court's going to indicate a $250,000 cash bond. Yeah, also, in addition to the allegations that Mr. Knox attempted to flee from the police as well, the court has significant concerns as to Mr. Knox appearing for court.
Never
First, we're
missed,
going to indicate the clock. I'm sorry, what was that?
never missed a court date.
I understand that, sir, but given the allegations in this matter, which are significantly more serious than any of the other ones that you've had so far, and given the allegations that you jumped out of the second floor window to flee the police, the court has serious concerns of you showing up for court, knowing that the maximum penalty on one of the charges is up to 4 years in state prison. The court's going to indicate you not to have any contact with the complaining witnesses or any victims in this matter. That would be Damian Parmalee, Sally Hamer. That's phone contact, text message, email, social media, third party, package delivery service, letters through the US mail. Let's see what else is on my
He doesn't know how to mail a
I
letter.
don't have any shared
He doesn't even know how to write his name.
video accounts. The court's going to also indicate you not to enter the premises at Subway on Eureka. That was 410 Eureka, is that correct, Detective Sergeant Grote?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. You're not to possess or have access to any firearms and or any weapons. Are there any weapons at your grandmother's house, sir?
No.
Do you have any other weapons by
No.
which you can obtain possession?
No.
All right, and the court, I don't know if I indicated this, but GPS tether house arrest. Wayne County Jail tether. Anything else, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Detective Sergeant Grote?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see everybody back on June 1st.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh boy. All right. Just because the room is a rockin', I was gonna end at 9, but let's go with a bonus clip. Viewer's choice. Here we go. Round 2. Let's see what the poll says. We're gonna go with that Mike Page update. Yeah, that crier on Bothwell. I don't want to. It's a good one, but I'd rather end on a high note. You guys probably saw all this before, but this is just something for bonus. Let's share together. This is a great video to have on live. I had this first case on my live months or so ago. I don't know. And they're back. Mom was claiming dad was taking pictures of the girls and inappropriate things in the pool and all that good stuff. They're back today because mom put them up on more charges, whatever it was. I saw it. I made a video of it. It's rocking and rolling. It's got about 20,000 views. So I want to share that with you guys. So let's do that together. Let's watch Mike Page, and then we'll call it a night. And I really appreciate everybody in the room. Thank you for all the donations. Just thank you for all the support. You guys, it goes a long way, and I really appreciate it. All right, let's rock and roll. I'm just going to bring up the video for a second. Okay. All right, here we go. This one is so good. All right, here we go. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Here we go. Let's get it going. Here we go. Let's roll. Good Daddy. The Good Daddy app.
Has this ever happened to you? You are getting ready to sit down with your young daughters to watch Cocaine Bear with your tattooed real girlfriend of the week, and your lousy old ex-wife is harping on you to do their homework, stop drinking, and clean them. What a bitch. Well, with our new all-in-one checklist app, Good Daddy, being at timely custody hearings will be a thing of the past. Just enter what needs to be down, and we will remind you before your ex starts to enforce the orders.
Here we go.
Zoom, and this is the date and time set for a hearing in this matter. Ms. Weck had filed a motion Was originally set for a week ago, but rescheduled for today. A motion regarding parenting time. Both raise your right hands. Do you both swear or affirm any testimony given this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes.
All right. And ma'am, you filed this motion. What are you requesting today and why?
I'm requesting 4 different things. The first thing that is on the motion is that part of our order states that Jeremy shall not consume any alcohol during parenting time, nor for 24 hours prior to any parenting time, that he shall submit to a preliminary breathalyzer at my request and at parenting time exchanges, and at any time I can request an alcohol testing at my own expense. On 4/27, he called the kids at 7 p.m., which was the night before he was supposed to have the girls. He was very intoxicated, and I requested via our parenting wizard, our family wizard, asking to use my right to breathalyze him. He told me that it was no longer in the order, that his attorney had told him that. I'm just asking the court to, kind of emphasize that that is still in the order and that I can use my right to breathalyze him, and asking the court how it's enforced.
Thank you, Evelyn. Much appreciated.
Ensuring that he's not drinking 24 hours prior to having the girls. The next part of my parenting time order I'm asking to be changed is he's allowing the girls to watch inappropriate movies. My 4-year-old, she was 3 at that point, proceeded to tell our daycare provider and her friends at daycare that she had watched Cocaine Bear. The title alone indicates that it's pretty not for young eyes. So I went home and investigated a little, and Cocaine Bear is even worse than I had expected. I reached out to Jeremy to ask if they had watched it, and he replied that Madeline hadn't watched it. She'd only seen a piece of it and kept asking to watch it. When I picked the girls up that afternoon after school, I asked if they had watched it, and our 6-year-old proceeded to tell me that she had in fact watched it, and that she described a scene from the movie as being very scary. I'm asking that, we put in the order that appropriate content, whether it's movies, TV shows, music, or video games. I know we both don't do a lot of video games, but just be age appropriate. The next thing I want to talk about is introduction of multiple women, either indirectly or directly. My girls can describe women that they've never met. They know their professions, they know where they live, they know what they look like. There's also been multiple women that are in and out of their lives. Not that I don't want Jeremy to be dating. I hope that he moves on and finds happiness, but introduction of multiple women is getting a little excessive. At the end of March, they met someone named Tracy, and my 6-year-old described where she had tattoos, and before she even met her. And then not even 2 weeks later, another woman was in the house that Wednesday named JoJo, and was making them dinner. So within a short time frame, they've met multiple women. And then via the parenting time app for our family wizard, Jeremy let me know that the girls had spent 16 hours with this woman named JoJo, and that he was now moving her into the house. I find that very, very fast, and my girls had not spent enough time to know if this woman would be a good role model. So I'm asking that the court, put something in writing that unrelated overnight guests should not be, or any unrelated guests should not be staying overnight for a certain period of time, until we know that the relationship is long-term. The next thing is Jeremy's not doing their homework. when they go to their house or his house on the weekends, they'll come to me on Sunday night, and I'm not automatically get into like their bedtime routine. We do baths and get ready for bed. And then the next morning, my 6-year-old says to me, "Oh, I didn't do my homework." So when I reach out to Jeremy, he says, "Well, I asked them and they said no." Just kind of emphasize like we should be doing our homework. Whoever has the children directly after school. I understand that we want to teach them accountability, but we also need to be accountable as parents. So just to ensure that their homework is done. The next one is proper hygiene and return of clothing. Jeremy gets them Wednesday nights for dinner, and then he'll get them over the weekend. So they're coming directly to him most of the time from either daycare or school. When he returns them, especially on Wednesday nights, there's got food on their face, their hair's a mess. One night in particular, my 4-year-old arrived with burrs in her hair, like burdock, those sticky things that stick to everything. It was in a ball, and it took me 45 minutes of her screaming and using conditioner to get it out of her hair. Just some, proper hygiene, returning to me. And then return of clothing. I'll send them with certain clothing, and they'll come back with improper size clothing or not my clothing at all. And I send them with nice clothing. One instance, we were at basketball, and I sent her with our 4-year-old with a brand new winter coat. And she came back with a size 24 month too small coat. I don't know why, but I had to ask for it back. And then extracurricular activities. I like my girls to be in as many activities as is logistically possible. I think it creates well-rounded children. But every extracurricular activity that they want to be involved in, I evaluate, is it going to affect any parenting time on his? Is it going to affect, the cost? What is the cost? Is it something I know that they'll want to do long-term, or is it this is just for fun? And then I run that by Jeremy. Most of the time he agrees to it. He's even agreed to, in the parenting time app, to pay for part of it. And then I cover the cost of it. When I ask him if he's going to cover the cost of it, he'll say, "That's what my child support is for." Well, that would be great. But right now there's no child support being paid. So I'm asking that we either enforce that we're paying child support or ask the court to, that he pays for 50% of these extracurricular activities, because I want my kids to be involved, but I shouldn't be carrying the financial burden if I'm not getting one or the other.
All right. Sir, what's your response to each? Well, let's start in order. Well, let's do it this way. Ma'am, what order are you relying on when you say that Mr. Shelton shall not consume alcohol during or 24 hours prior to parenting time, and shall submit to breathalyzer test prior to parenting time or at any time that you direct?
That is from our original order from 2020. I believe the opinion from the judge came in March, and then it was officially signed by the judge and our attorneys in May of 2020.
And that's never been modified or vacated or anything like that?
No, it has not.
All right. So, sir, what's your response to the motion as it relates to that issue alone at this point?
That issue there, I was not intoxicated. Mrs. Wack asked me to go out to my truck and I had left my house with my girlfriend. Mrs. Wack asked me to go back to my truck and proceed to blow into my thing. I said we had left. She said, well, then you're going to have to provide me with an address or go to a cop shop and blow for somebody or tell me where I can send an officer. We were on our way. My girlfriend lives in Hart. Well, she has a cabin in Hart. So I told her, I said, we sent her an address from where we were at. And I told her if she wanted to send an officer, more than happy to send an officer. But it also says it's at her expense. I don't know where it's my expense where I have to run around all over God's creation trying to find some place to appease her. It's kind of getting ridiculous in a sense where she's searching for so many things for me to have to try to jump through all these hoops for her.
All right, but does the order allow it?
Allows her to, yes, at her expense.
Okay.
If she has it at parenting time, but prior to pick up or drop off, or at her expense, she could ask for it, and she could come to my house and ask me to blow into it at her time.
All
on
right.
her time.
So, ma'am, when did this incident that you referred to? What was the date of that incident?
April 27th. I just want to also note that.
Hold on, just answer the question at this point.
Yeah,
April 27th, 2023. At what time?
It was just after 7 p.m. He had called at 7 p.m. and he told me at 7:10 that he was not home.
All right, and the kids were with him at that time?
They were with me. It was 24 hours prior to his parenting time.
So he was supposed to start the next day?
Yeah, at 3 o'clock. Well, he typically picks Madeline up at 7:45 a.m. So it would have been 12 hours prior, just over 12 hours.
No, I told you I couldn't pick Maddie up that morning because I wasn't going to be there in time.
You let me know that the day of at 6:17 on the 28th, you let me know at 6 o'clock in the morning that you weren't going to make it. On the 27th, you did not indicate that at all.
Well, I think I did when we were talking on the phone or FaceTiming, but okay.
Right. Well, I think you both agree that that language is still in the order. Ms. Weck just wanted that emphasized. So whatever the order says regarding that, if it's not been vacated or changed, you got to comply with it.
But I don't see where it's at her expense. So I'm supposed to run and go to a cop shop at that point?
I don't know if they'll charge you. How do you know if they're going to charge you or not?
Huh?
Do they charge you or can you even just walk into a police station and say, I'm going to go into a...
Charge you $4 every time. I used to have to do it when I went through sobriety court. Mrs.
No, neither of you have asked to change that at this time, so she just wants it emphasized. So whatever the order says, the two of you have to comply with it. Sir, what about this issue with your young children watching a rated R movie?
Sir, and I had this conversation with Mrs. Weck. My kids did not watch it. My brother, and I got my nephew here if you want to swear him in, because he was
right here from you right now.
Okay. My nephew and my brother were here watching it. My kids and I were all outside playing basketball, and my youngest one and my second oldest one, they don't play basketball that much. My oldest daughter had her friend over, and we were playing basketball. They kept coming in. Every time they came in, they would pause the movie, but they would catch pieces of it. And they would pause the movie and tell them, no, you guys can't be watching. And they'd wait till they left, and then they would turn it back on and start watching. I have, to this day, I've never seen the movie. I've heard it was dumb. Pieces that I did see of it, it was very inappropriate for my kids, and I would never let them watch that. I won't let my kids watch inappropriate shows on TV. Okay, when they're watching, they got Google Play, and they got all the movies and kid shows, and everything is all set up for them. And they know.
That's all right. That's what I want to hear. So you're not opposed to the entry of an order stating that your kids won't watch movies, TV shows, listen to music, or play video games that is rated for a level above their age?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, good. How about the issue that Ms. Weck brought up about you introducing the children to multiple women who are significant others?
Nope, that is far, far from false. My girls have met two women. One, and at this point here, and I want to emphasize.
Did he say far from false? That's far from false.
Emphasize this too. Mrs. Weck, the minute she finds out, and I got letters here written from these women, Mrs. Weck will contact them and pretty much harass them in a sense, saying that, well, I'm their biological mother. I am the guardian. I'm the co-parent. I'm the only parent that has anything to. I'm getting frustrated.
He needs a
She's
drink.
the.
All right, better.
It all falls on her. She makes all the choices, everything that goes down with the kids. She's their primary parent. Sorry. And that she needs to know them. She needs to meet them. At this point, sir, yes, these two women, one that is living with me, are involved in my life, but I'm not saying they're going to be there forever. And getting them to meet my kids to make sure there's a kind of a bond with them to see if they're going to work with my kids. If they're not going to be good with my kids, they're gone. I'm not going to be with somebody who can't be.
Sir, are you opposed to me putting in the order that your kids shouldn't meet your booty calls or Tinder swipes? You opposed? Far from false.
Be with my kids. The first person.
You gotta understand though, kids get attached relatively quickly, and if the two of you decide not to continue your relationship, then the kids have gotten attached to someone, and then all of a sudden she's out of the picture. You know, they feel a sense of loss. So I'm not going to put anything in the order that prohibits. You know, sometimes those provisions are put in orders when divorces are pending or for short periods of time thereafter. But this is a 4-year-old, well, it's not even a divorce. This is a 4-year-old case anyway. And so the two of you presumably have been apart for 4 years or more. And the Court of Appeals, there's a case, and I read it years ago, and I can't remember the site right now, but the Court of Appeals basically said that both parents have the duty, the absolute duty, to protect their children from abuse or neglect during time that the children are in their care. And if exposing them to a person brings that into question because of that person's propensities for, I don't know, violence or drug abuse or criminality or things like that, then that's to be scrutinized by the court. But the court's not to really scrutinize parents and their romantic relationships absent any of those other things. So I'll just caution you that kids get attached quickly, and you need to be cognizant of that when you're introducing them to people. But I'm not going to put language in a 4-year-old in an order in a 4-year-old case prohibiting you from having the kids around your significant others. Do you have a problem with making sure that the homework is done when the kids are in your care after school?
Sir, I get the girls after school, and I grab them and I ask them for their homework. I'll look at their bags. Most of the time they do get their homework done. Mrs. Weck is bringing up a very few issues that actually have been brought up. I have them for 4 hours. By the time they get here from school, I got them until 7 o'clock. I'm enjoying almost every second that I have with my kids at this moment in time. And yes, homework is important, and I agree. But at 7 o'clock, there's still a little bit of time for her to actually look at it if it needs to be. I'm not opposed to helping them with their homework or making it get it done. It's just that when they get here, they're excited to be on the trampoline and be with me and have fun and do the things that they didn't get to see or me for over a week. So in some cases, for over a week.
Are we just talking Wednesdays for this issue?
Yes, that's what she's talking about, are on Wednesdays.
Okay.
On Sunday, they got time to look through their books, and I have. There is not any time. Yes, there was. One time my daughter missed homework. I asked them if they had homework, and they said no. Yes, Mrs. Weck is right. I should have probably looked at it, but in this case, I'm, enjoying my time, the very little minimal time I have with my kids. So Mrs. Weck does have them pretty much all the time. So I don't understand how maybe missing a homework day here or there is going to be the end of the world, or we got to put it into some kind of writing that if the homework's not done, because she'll have, if the kids do it again, we'll be back in court tomorrow.
Well, I agree with you there. It shouldn't have to be in writing. The two of you should be able to figure these issues out. But if you can't, the court has to get involved. And I don't want you to sit here and think that you only get to be the fun parent and she's got to do all the homework. You should have some responsibility in that. But I'm also cognizant of the fact that you do have less time and you want to enjoy the time you have, and maybe homework is enjoyable, maybe it's not. But I think for certain, if you've got them for a full weekend, you should set some time aside during that weekend to get the homework done, so they're not coming home on a Sunday night having to get that done. On a Wednesday, if you got them for 3 or 4 hours, if it's a big thing that has to be done, you should probably be working on it. If it's something that can be done relatively quickly once they get home, then maybe it's not that big a deal. It's kind of it's kind of hard to legislate that or put an order in effect, because it's going to be different. If it's one sheet of paper, identify these 8 colors, and then you're done, you should be able to get that done. But if it's something like a book report, then that takes a little more time.
I do. I do these things. And me and Mrs. Weck would actually just take some of the time, instead of focusing and putting all this stuff into court, and take a little bit of time and actually communicate with me, and actually take a little bit of what we're talking about here. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not making all the right decisions at every moment in time, but every decision I'm making, I'm doing it for the betterment of my kids. I'm there for my kids. I want them to be happy. I don't want them to be worrying about, there's one incident, Mrs. Weck told me that I needed to blow into my pickup truck. And I said, no, that order was over prior to parenting time. She said, no, it wasn't. I said, yes, it was. And it actually was. Mrs. Weck then proceeded to say, well, when are you going to pay child support? And she's gone FaceTime with me with my kids in the back. And she said, I said, I'm trying to get my best to get child support. And sir, I am still, to this moment right now, I'm closing possibly on Tuesday. I will have I remortgaged my home. I'm getting caught up on everything. I just got a few more tax papers I got to figure out, and I'm closing. But Mrs. Weck then proceeded to tell me that I said, they're going to put me in jail for this if you keep pushing this the way you are. And she goes, yes, I know. And I would love it. My kids were right there, and they heard it. They started crying, asking me, and I FaceTimed her right back, and she wouldn't answer. I said, look what you did.
All right, guys. My mods are going to drop the link, because I got to go be a good dad and take care of my daughter. She got a little toe surgery today from basketball, so I got to go check up on her. I hear her calling me through the headphones. So I just want to say, you can watch the rest of this video. I have a link. They're going to drop the link. Thank you, mods. I just want to say one thing before I leave. The channel's growing. We'll be at 10K. People asking for help in certain aspects. I don't mind doing it at all. I know a lot of other creators say it, and it's a whole lot of BS. I'm as genuine as they come. This is fun for me. Yes, I get donations. I make money doing this. I enjoy it. But this is therapy for me also. So if I could help you out in any way, I will do it. Also, I have to get the approval from my moderators and this small little community that I've built from day one that have my support. So if they don't think it's kosher, I'm not going for it. So you're more than welcome to throw anything you want, but it has to get our approval first through the Discord, which no one's not done that. Excuse the double negative. I'm just saying that I've been getting a lot of emails and requests to do certain things, and I'm not opposed to anything, but we have a little process because something happened with one of our viewers, and we just want to make sure everything's kosher and good. And I don't want to put my name on something that could be fraudulent or whatever, because I will help you and do it anything I can in terms of fundraising for anything, just as long as we get it approved through my little community that I built in Discord. If you're not on Discord and you don't know what I'm saying, join the Discord. The links are up. Guys, I will be live tomorrow. God bless. Give everybody a hug. Everybody a kiss. Never go to bed angry. God bless. See you tomorrow. And remember, I'm Time, and you've been served.